In this video, I'm just going to talk about the underfloor drain holes that are on the car. There are two on each side. There's one there and there's one there that allow water to drain out of the cabin. This piece here, this sits directly between your legs. It's a big beam that runs up the center of each side of the car, and this is on the rail that runs down the frame of the car. And these act like a one-way valve in that they won't allow things to go up, or very little to go up, but they should allow water to drain out. Unfortunately, they can get clogged, as I found with this, because when I pulled these out, this car was full of water. And when I pull these out, these are all clogged up. So clearly it didn't do its job. Also, what's interesting is that this bit here, because this is under the underfloor paneling up the front, is that this here is about an inch higher than that. And right there is where your rear BCM lives. So the problem with that is that clearly this being higher, this can fill up and it can put about an inch of water in this little patch in here, which is where your rear BCM and your amplifier on the other side all live. About an inch of water could get in here before it starts to drain out of here. Now there are beams across there and across the back, which is what the seat belts bolt to, but there are small channels underneath all of these beams that allow water to flow freely wherever it wants. So clearly water could run from front to back and vice versa. But the problem is that it's only going to come out of here when it gets to a level in here, which is high enough to allow it to come out. Now the rear BCM, when I did some measurements, it sits about 3.5 centimeters off the floor. So if you're on flat ground, you could just have it to like a little bit below the bottom of your rear BCM, and then it starts to come out of here if this is all cleaned out. So enough said that keeping these things clean, I reckon, is pretty important, especially in the Boxster, where there is the risk of water coming into the car much more than a Cayman. To remove these, pretty simple. You can just get a screwdriver underneath here and they just pop straight out. They still have a funny little four-pronged thing in there. We'll pull apart the valve in a moment to show how you can clear that out. But to put those in, if you just fold that little bit, the rubber back like that, orientate it correctly and push it in, and then it'll just flop into place. So to pull these valves apart, little baby screwdriver, and just sort of slide it down into there, and you can just lift that out as you go around, and that'll just pop straight out. And then once it comes out, you'll notice there's a little, it's like a half ball valve in there. In mine, these were just full of leaves and grass and stuff, so clearly that wasn't going to do its job. To put that back together, once you've cleaned everything out, just slot that in there so the little ball thing is pointing towards you, and then just plonk that into place like that. You can push it all the way down. There are little clips around the edges here that hold that down to the correct level, and when it's in the right spot, I can just, there's probably about a gap of about 1 millimeter or so. And when if I blew on that to try and push it out, this ball valve actually pops up in here and stops anything from coming into the car, but obviously it allows stuff to flow out.